Welcome to the Weather Guru Podcast for August the 2nd, 2026, this Sunday edition here. Thanks for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. Hit that subscribe and like button on the way in. We're currently looking at weather for August 2nd, 2026 in the lower 48, and we're going to start out with the SPC, the Storm Prediction Center, and we look pretty quiet across most of the country. That's, of course, the eastern half of the country here is going to be experiencing some general variety thunderstorms from Miami and the Keys all the way up to Maine, and then back toward Texas and the lower Rio Grande Valley and over to the Four Corners area. The 1 out of 5 marginal risk for severe weather is located going to be from middle Georgia, anywhere from Macon, Georgia, up through Greenville, Spartanburg, up through the mountainous territory, and into Washington, D.C., Baltimore, Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, back into West Virginia and eastern parts of Ohio and Buffalo. And that's just a slight 1 out of 5 risk for some gusty winds that could be associated with some thunderstorms. And then we have, we don't have much of a hail threat in brown here, but it is possible, and it's less than 5% chance, 5-10% chance in that same region as well, and also for North Dakota and Minnesota too, on the borders here in brown. So that's our severe weather outlook, which is pretty good, not bad as we head toward the afternoon hours. Just according to the discussion, this is going to be later on in the afternoon and tonight across parts of the Ohio Valley and northern Great Plains here. So, looking at the hurricane forecast, the tropical forecast here, no tropical activity is expected during the next 7 days for the Atlantic, Caribbean, or Gulf of America basins. That's great news. And then we have Genevieve in the Eastern Pacific here. This is just going to continue to become a post-tropical low today, and it's already, it's fizzling out here. Pressures are 1,003 millibars. Sustained winds are at 50 here. It's going to be slowly disintegrating here in East Pac and Central Pacific here. West-northwest at 13 miles an hour. Expect that to accelerate here later on. If we get into later on Tuesday, Monday, Tuesday, this is going to accelerate and just disintegrate out. So that's great news there as well. Now, looking at the next 6 to 10 days, starting from next week, Friday, August 7th through August the 11th on Tuesday, most of the country, as you can see, is under a warm spell. There's not going to be anywhere that's going to be below average here. And this is the first time in a while that everybody's going to be at least 5 to 10 degrees above average here. As a matter of fact, some places in Nevada, Utah, Colorado are going to be even 10 to 15 to 20 degrees above average here, including Oklahoma City, Amarillo, Albuquerque, Denver, parts of Denver Metro, Colorado Springs, over to Salt Lake City Metro, and they're going to be 10 to 15 degrees above average starting Friday, August the 7th through August the 11th. So prepare for that next week. For next week's forecast, and you can see we're going to be above average everywhere here, from the Panhandle of Florida all the way to California into the Bay Area, above average. Even in the Pacific Northwest, they're going to be above average. Unfortunately, with the wildfires there, prayers and thoughts are out for people in Spokane, Washington, and other areas that are evacuating for the wildfires there. Relative humidity's in the 20%, and winds are blowing. It's a dry combination here. Air quality alerts issued for Idaho, Eastern Oregon, from Baker City to Burns, to Boise, back up to Spokane. So we want to make sure that we're keeping the prayers and that you take the evacuation seriously in that area if you're in one of those zones. Now, the current radar here, let's see if it just show here. It was here. Let me see. Well, the current radar was showing some storms there, but we'll come back to that. But looking at the current hazards for today, August 2nd, 2026, for the lower 48, you can see we still have those flood watches in effect for the Central Appalachians here, I-81 corridor through Virginia and Beckley, West Virginia, I-77 corridor, the West Virginia Turnpike, up into Western Maryland, Western Pennsylvania. Pittsburgh is included in that, and then up into Buffalo and the Tokyo Plateau, and then over toward Cleveland. This includes big cities like Cleveland, down to the northern Columbus, Akron Metro, and then over toward Detroit area as well, and the northern counties associated with that as well. You're under a flood watch for today for those rains. In the Panhandle of Florida, you're included. This includes the Big Bend area, anywhere from Steinhatchee back toward Tallahassee, Apalachicola Bay, Panama City Beach, and those areas are included in the flood watch here. Now, out west, we have, of course, the red flag warnings in purple, extreme heat warnings in purple, continuing for the Grand Canyon, Rim Country, Las Vegas, the Inland Empire, Palm Springs, Cathedral City, San Diego, back toward LA, up into Oxnard and Ohio, California, back into the Four Corners area. We have a red flag warning continuing in light purple here for Salt Lake City, Ogden, Provo, Utah, back into Wyoming and into Montana. Most of Montana and Idaho too is into this red flag warning, obviously for the wildfires out there. Elsewhere in the middle of the country, the nation's heartland, you are clear after having much rain from places like St. Louis, Chicago, Little Rock, you had much rain, but things are clearing out here for the Sunday. So this has been the latest weather guru update for August the 2nd, 2026. Have a blessed weekend. I'll talk to you very soon later. Thanks for listening.